going on, everybody that's watching? We're going to get into some Cancer energy right now, you heard? I may cuss, but I don't curse. Don't let that fly over your head. What's going to be done right now is a career reading, but related to spiritual career, all right? So if you're trying to make a transition into spiritual career, this is going to be advice given on what to do, how to go about that, some insight on things that you may have been thinking about or considering already before you even got to this reading. It's going to be a 5-card draw. We're going to give some more in-depth elaboration on this. And if you want my services, or you know someone who does want my services, you can find the link in the description box that will take you to my website where you can initiate a conference of some sort digitally. All right. Well, for now, anyway. I don't know if I'll do like face-to-face in person. I don't know, but we'll see. So I'm gonna cut the deck. We're gonna get into this. All right. Now we're gonna look at the past influence first. What has influenced you in the past to even consider spirituality as something you might consider as a career? So we have the 3 of Wands. Okay. So in the past, you may have taken a trip somewhere. This might have been overseas at that. Nonetheless, you've taken a trip somewhere to where you were able to see other cultures and their ways of life. And you were able to tap into it, not be, like, oh, whoa, we don't do that over where I'm from type shit. You was like welcoming and embracing. But not only that, I think they actually showed you some type of embracing as well. And that set off a light bulb in your head, like, oh, once you open your mind to these types of things and you apply yourself and at least you show up in people's ways of life or the way that they do things, you can absorb it. You can adopt it as well. So this is where the first inclination of spirituality came across you. Pause. Now, if it wasn't that distinct, this had something to do with talking to someone or a group of people, a community of people who actually do live somewhere else, and y'all been building this conversation back and forth for some time now about what goes on there, how the customs are, their way of life, and things of that nature. And this has been amplifying your desire to come up with some sort of plan that actually lands you over there to start a new beginning, to start off in this type of way, to where I get the feeling like this is something where you can actually pick up spirituality and be more comfortable doing it as a career because of the actual move. It's like you don't have to, sort of like what I just went through with I think it was the Taurus reading, when I'm talking about if you care what people say, then it's like apparently you got to get away from them people in some sort of way, right? But I think with this reading with Cancer, it's more about how you feel. You know what I'm saying? It's more about how people make you feel in your vicinity. And therefore, you look at the trip. If you take it to start a spiritual career of some sort, you look at the trip as a way to like start fresh, start new. And you don't have to have the feel of, I guess you could call it residue, left over from what you've already been embedded in so heavily that someone else may look at you or perceive you to be different. And of course that's the point, like you are different should you be influenced by this as this states, and you're going to embark on it. There's going to be a strong level of difference added on to you because of it. But let's look at the present influence to see what's going on with you there. Yeah, this is the 9 of Wands, fire energy some more. This is about resilience. So what I'm getting from this is that, okay, you've experienced something in the past that has made you into a spiritual warrior. So it's like you're battle tested and you're a bit jaded from it. However, you won't stand down. You're not like, you're actually standing in this as triumphant. So that gives you more of a want to carry this whole spiritual career thing out, because you've actually utilized it in some sort of way to become triumphant. I also see like standing against the odds, like the deck was stacked against you in some type of way and you overcame that. I also see like you do something other than spirituality, but spirituality is actually the missing component from obtaining the type of success that you would like to obtain with the other thing that you were doing. And that's more of a reason why you won't allow anyone to take you off of this current spiritual path, or why you're even more influenced in the present about this, is because you see how that addition onto your life has caused you to win some victories in areas where you didn't think that you could even fight that, or that you should fight that type of way, in a spiritual type of way. And when you've seen the outcome of that, you're like, oh shit, yeah, I'm fucking with this, because this shit is actually helping me. This shit is actually working. When it seemed like other things were falling apart, which they were in some sort of way. I don't know the deets, but it's like the spirituality is something that brought you to be triumphant. So that's where your present influence comes from, and it develops this feel within you that it says, I feel I can do this because of spirituality. So why not embark on a career with it? So with the shift comes, let me see something. You also see that you're close to success. Like being on that type of spiritual path is going to make you close to success in that other thing in some type of way. So you're also reluctant to let go of this because of that. This is also presented some more of a type of a backbone is giving you being this way. You feel more of a fighter without throwing a single blow type shit. And you're like, you refuse to let this go because this is like the last battle that wins the war, so to speak. This also is going to total to 12, 1 and a 2. You might meet someone, or you already have, that understands you, and that kind of like gives way to some sort of community work, or just communication, probably, if it's not a community. Let me draw a card to see the major influence. It's the Temperance in reverse. So the major influence of trying to make a spirituality shift in career has been an area of too much Sam Rothstein, but really, like, if you look at it, it's like too much flossing, maybe too much indulgence. You know what I'm saying? Too much into yourself, to where spirituality dwindles. So it may have came and went, pause, but it was there, and you feel like when it goes, this is when you have time to actually indulge in your, whatever your vices are. And you've also realized that that's low-key an antagonist for you. It's like spirituality is antagonizing you. So I'll say this, right? Some people disregard or try not to think about the demiurge when they get into spirituality, and it's like, yo, dude, you can't forget about the demiurge, or you should study the demiurge, despite how much it's frowned on, and despite how much people try to like snip that shit out of what spirituality is. Don't be under the pretense that everything is sunshine and rainbows just because it's spirituality that you're into. And So when I say antagonist, I'm talking about more along the lines of the demiurge, that nudge that taps you on your shoulder, like, really? That's your fifth donut, you motherfucker. Like, on some real, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that could be some demiurge type shit. Like, that's enough. Like, what's up with the utility value? Are you calculating these things? Like, what's going on with you? Because it's a nudge to tell you that something is going on with you beneath the surface. You might be aware of it and you're ignoring it type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why are you doing that when we're giving you spiritual enlightenment? We're peeling the layers off for you. You've already been on this path. You've been curious. What's the deal? You understand what I'm saying? So this has been the major influence right now, is this kind of like fight with yourself. It really doesn't have any, at this point, it doesn't have anything to do with anyone else. It's about you relieving yourself from the excess and just getting back into spirituality. You understand what I'm saying? And yes, do not let me leave this part out. Spirituality is going to have the part, it's all chakras involved. So you're going to want to pleasure yourself on the lower rungs, if you get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Pause or whatever. But it's not what you do, it's how you do it type shit. You know what I mean? So it's like, once you envision it up here, you work on it up here, then it can come down. Pause. You get what I'm saying? Now let me draw a card to see what the advice is, because it feels like I'm giving advice already, right? Let me shut the fuck up. Just draw these cards. All right, so we got the King of Wands. Yo, there's so much fire out here. I'm getting the feeling that this Cancer energy is really, really hyped up and on fire about this whole spiritual shift. So what I'm saying is this, right? When you got the King of Wands popping up like this, this is saying to me to tell the Cancer energy, look, take charge. Take charge. Look like you're in authority when you're doing this. And if you're not the most optimistic person, learn how to turn it on, because it's going to look good on you. If you already are the optimistic type, even better, because that's one of the key components that's going to make you thrive and is going to get you this authoritative seat, if you will, in the spiritual sector, in the spiritual career. You can obtain wealth through this in ways that you're not even thinking about. So just expect some type of windfall financially based upon being in the career, but you don't necessarily know where it's going to come from. What I'm getting is you don't even need to know the how right now. It's just going to come. Pause. And when you do this, you're going to inspire others. And this is why I initially felt that this is like an important reading, because I feel like we could use more spiritual leaders, more spiritual people in general. So if another person can get in and shift into a spiritual career and inspire another, that's fantastic. And that's what this advice is showing, to get yourself in a leadership position, because it's going to inspire others to be creative in the spiritual realm and help others, assist others in manifesting the things that they think and feel. You know what I mean? But yeah, definitely be decisive and to embody independence like you're truly free. You know what I'm saying? And if you are truly free, fan-fucking-tastic. But if you like working on your image and your brand or whatever, and you're on your way there, man, like really pull that shit off. Like embody that shit. It's gonna work for you. Now this is gonna be the outcome should this advice be taken. The Ace of Wands, more fire energy, a new opportunity, a fire-ass opportunity is going to come in through you, but not through you. Oh Jesus, pause. But to you, and it's going to offer a new beginning, a new start, a new good news. You know what I'm saying? This is actually going to enhance your capability to be physical more in the spiritual career, whatever that means. That can mean like yoga or breathing techniques, even I guess like cooking and teaching people what spices do this, that, and the third. There's different areas and lanes in the spiritual career that you can take. So this Ace of Wands, should you follow that advice spoken about in the King of Wands, will bring you these types of opportunities. You will see these things pop up. You'll have a sense of urgency to address those things, to take them on, and put them in the forefront. Pretty much, you'll find new passion in doing, I would say, new things related to spirituality that you haven't done yet. So it kind of like creates more baskets, creates more of a variety for your spiritual conquest. I think it's all here. It's just a lot of fire. You know what I mean? It's a lot of fire. So I'm also seeing, just from a personal perspective, don't burn out. But I did skip over like giving my own personal advice from being an astrologer to Cancer energy and getting into spirituality is this. And this reading pretty much clarified it, is that when you get into one lane, don't be afraid to switch into another lane of spirituality, because Cancer energy is expected to behave in that type of way because it's ruled by the moon. The moon transits faster than any other celestial body, so change is inevitable when it comes to Cancer energy. So it doesn't mean you have to drop your spiritual career. It just means transition into another area of spirituality so that you don't miss out on opportunities and you don't stay stuck, because if you stay in one area, you'll get an intuitive nudge of when to do it and how to do it. But if you stay there too long and you resist the change, you're going to see how it gets you frustrated. It's going to get you aggravated. It's going to get you agitated. You're going to get moody. You might start snapping on people who you've brought along with this ride with you, and those would be the signs that you've overstayed your welcome. You know what I mean? But now let me pull a crystal card to add on some in depth. Let me shuffle this deck first from my crystal deck. You know what I'm saying? Give some more clarity and elaborate further on this reading. Whoa. Big ass hands, man. My hands is doofy, yo. But they're my hands. I love them. Hold on. Alright, my cut. Okay. So the crystal card for this reading is a cuprite, and I hope I didn't butcher that, but a cuprite is representative of generosity, security, and flow. So a humanitarian at heart, cuprite encourages the practice of helping others without expectations. It assists in facing issues with authority figures, especially your father, in order to become the authority figure in your own life. We spoke about King of Wands. We also spoke about windfalls without knowing how or when, where they're going to come from. So that's like helping people without expecting where the money's going to come from. Cuprite helps release any blame and resistance that may be blocking you from taking responsibility for the decisions you make. We also went over that in this reading. Activating the survival gene, cuprite attracts what we need to make it through challenging moments, increasing our life force and overall vitality. Take the driver's seat. We also mentioned that like verbatim. And you're ready. This is an Aquarius and Venus crystal card. And with that being said, until next time, I'm out.